The following program you're about to watch is being brought to you today by the Throne Rod Foundation, the Blown Tire Corporation, the Broken Wheel Group, and the following YouTube subscribers. Like you, please subscribe to their YouTube channels if you haven't already, and smash the bell. Thank you for subscribing and supporting Riders for Christ YouTube channel, truly and always.
Welcome back everybody to my channel, Riders for Christ. I'm Chris Cromwell. Always good to have you back here with me. Don't forget to like this video if you find it very helpful. And don't forget to subscribe and smash the bell so you won't forget or lose or miss out on anything. And as you may have noticed in my previous video, is that I'm beginning to not really care for my current helmet. This is the helmet I've been using here recently for my videos on my YouTube channel. This is just a full face windshield helmet. This is the same kind of helmet I had before when I had my previous Harley back in 06 through 2010. I had a silver helmet pretty similar to this one, and it had the full face shield. It had the little little air vents on the top, and I liked it because I could see everything. It had the full vision and all of that, and it did kind of help blow in some additional air through the bottom of this windshield. Well, as I'm finding out in my previous several odd videos, anytime I get to be traveling above maybe a good 40-45 miles an hour, that the audio starts to cut out and it gets to be crackly, popping, and I was starting to wonder why that was. And I'm thinking what's happening is that with this helmet, that there's no chin curtain under here. There's nothing here to help prevent the wind and noise and anything else from getting up underneath of this, through this bottom of this windshield and hitting into the microphone. And so with the GoPro camera that I'm using with the little microphone, is very sensitive to that really loud sounds. Anytime of really loud road noise, exhaust noise, wind noise, those kinds of things when you're at highway speeds, that tends to overdrive the audio, make it pop and crackle, and not very good. And so I do try to sweeten the audio just a little bit, because it kind of sound just a little muddy, just a little dull. So I would sweeten the audio just a little bit to bring up some highs. But other than that, as far as having it crackle and pop and those things, I can't do really much about it unless I want to just cut out whole sections of the video, which I don't really want to do that either unless I have to. So as I found out with my research, watching other motovloggers and other YouTube videos, is that this helmet is not ideal for motorvlogging. And the reasons that they've stated are the same ones I'm experiencing too, where all of the sounds and wind noise and the loud sounds of the exhaust and all of that, it travels underneath through this windshield, and there's nothing here to block all of that sound and wind out. It's going to hit into that microphone that I have right about in here, and it's going to overdrive it, make it crackle and pop and drown me out, and that's not real good either. So I took the camera off of this. I took all the cables all out of it. I'm still going to keep this helmet. I'm hanging on to it. I'm still going to use it in case I want to go do some riding without recording anything, and that's probably not going to happen a whole lot. I do intend to record lots of videos as much as I can when I'm riding the Harley, but if I have some little quick errand or trip that I don't really feel like it really needs to be recorded, I'm just going to take this helmet. So this is still a good helmet. I still like it. It's just, unfortunately, it's just not suitable for motor vlogging. So doing some further research to try to find out what else I can use. And so I was looking at some brands. I came across some really cheap helmets that were about $100, maybe about a little less than $100. But the reviews on those helmets at different sites, they weren't all that great. Some of the reviews mentioned that those helmets are also very, very noisy and loud, and I didn't really want to take that chance. I didn't want to blow the money on another helmet for a full-faced helmet and have it still create issues, so I didn't want to waste my money on that. So I was still looking around. Eventually found myself on over to the J&P Cycles, and I found a Scorpion brand helmet. It originally sold for right about $250 a good couple of years ago, and it's now on closeout. It's on sale for right about well, for J&P Cycles it got to be about $150. And there was a couple of other sites I went to where had the very same helmet that I wanted for a lot cheaper, but they were sold out and not always in the color scheme I wanted. I was looking for just the straight blue color Scorpion helmet, and they didn't have that. They were all sold out. It's a closeout item. They discontinued it. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. They discontinued the helmet. It's on closeout. They're not going to offer for sale anymore. It is a good couple of years old. They're going to move on to other models. So I went back to the one site I was on that had the helmet I wanted for cheaper. I had to wait till I had some more extra money. By the time that happened, somebody already bought the last one, so that was the end of that. So I had to go back to J&P Cycles and spend a lot more money than I wanted. It was still on sale. It was just more money than I would like. But it is the Scorpion EXO T-510 full-face tarmac helmet. And the only color scheme I could choose from, I was wanting just the straight blue, and it was long sold out. Everybody wants that. So I had to go with just the red, white, and blue color scheme. It's not really my thing, but I guess looks aren't everything. You know, I mean, it does have some blue in it. It would still match up with just the color of the tank. So I have the box here, and I'm going to pull it all out and look at it, check it out the very same time that you are. And at the same time, we're going to go ahead and try to mount my GoPro 7 camera assembly all up to it. And I also got some updated 3M tape, so you can see a little bit better look at it. And you can see here it holds up to 30 pounds. So I figure, well, now I do like the original 3M tape that came on the mount itself. It seemed to hold on to the helmet pretty decent, but there was areas of it that were kind of half coming off, so I had my concerns, and I didn't fully 100% trust that 3M tape that was on here of it originally, as well as this little anchor piece. So I was wanting to try this 3M Mount Extreme. I figure if it holds up to 30 pounds, it's probably going to hold up to a better part of 100 mile an hour or something odd wind gust too, I would guess, maybe more than that. So this might be overkill, but when you're looking at a $200, $300 camera with a very expensive mic adapter, well, several odd dollars for this, $9 or $10 for this, I wouldn't mind spending to, make sure I don't lose a $300 and something camera here. And the GoPro 7 Black I bought used on eBay, and even then I spent a good fair amount of money all on it. So I don't want to lose it. So much rather get this, go overkill so I don't lose that. Because once this is gone, I'm not going to be motovlogging for any time soon. So let's go ahead and bring out this new helmet. The packaging is always good. Scorpion EXO. What else does it have on here? It's got the red, blue. Probably can't see that tag real well, but it's got the red, blue on that. box kind of half comes all apart, so that's okay. Gonna be, I don't know, maybe recycling it or maybe putting it up in the attic. But anyway, the original color that this helmet came in, as you can kind of see from this bag, it was a black and neon green kind of color mixture. I didn't care for that, so I didn't buy that. I didn't want to look like a mustard seed or something like that going down the road. So this is like, since I couldn't buy the solid color of blue or and the other colors I wanted, they were sold out on. This is about the best as I can do, and it's still not bad. I mean, I guess nothing wrong with just a red, white, and blue graphic color. So that's going to be the least of my worries when it's going to matter with the audio improving. I'll show you all. There's the you got your owner's manual, that kind of good stuff. But the colors aren't going to really matter a whole lot, because what I'm after is high quality audio. And as you can see here, this does have the emergency pull-out cheek parts, in case an EMT or whoever needs to get to you, they can just pull that all off. And especially here is the most important part, is the chin curtain. And so this is going to do a lot with keeping a lot of that unwanted noise and wind noise and everything else from getting into the microphone and clipping it out and making that crackle pop noise during my videos. So we're going to go ahead and explore that. I have not, as you can see, I've not obviously test fitted this yet. I got this in medium because it's the same size as my other helmet. So not entirely a bad color scheme, it's just not really quite my thing. I'm much rather have like a solid straight color. But anyway, I did get it on sale, so you know, nothing really lost there. I'm pretty happy with getting it on sale. Here's your top air vent that's open and shut. Oh, there we go. It's got several different you can pick and choose from. So I don't know for sure if this will make it quieter or louder inside the helmet. I'll probably experiment with that. I would like to have it open so I have a little bit more airflow going through the helmet to keep it cool. And then there's supposed to be, let's see if I can pull this open. And oh, here's a little, well, that's kind of neat. Get a little thing right here on the edge so you don't smudge all up the other. As you can see there, it's got the visor in it. So that's actually kind of cool. I don't think I'm going to use that, but in case I do need it, it's going to come in handy. So now I do know that they're supposed to be, oh, there we go. I was looking for a little control for the little visor, so it's right here on the side. So now the thing is that it's either going to be all the way down or all the way up. I don't think you're going to have much of a choice as to if it's going to stay in one spot. But anyway, I tend to leave it all the way on up because I like to, anytime I have this down or wearing sunglasses, it makes me sleepy. I get sleepy when it gets dark, so I'll probably just leave that all the way on up. And I think this is for, I think this little lever's, I need to read helps read the directions, but anyway, that lever's for something else. And I think that's, as I do know, you can swap these out. You can swap out these visors out for different colors and tints and whatever else. And you do have the little chin vent. I'll probably leave that all the way closed. I'll leave it all the way closed up, so then that way that will kind of keep the air and wind and noise and all that kind of sort of thing out of the helmet and help make it quieter. And you can see, sort of, kind of, probably can't, down inside there where the microphone would kind of get into, and I'll show you that a little bit later. So now it's just a matter of trying to figure out where's the best place to mount my camera here. I never really liked it way on the side because it makes anytime I tilt my head, it makes the whole picture all crooked. So I was wanting to try a different way and just try to have it near the front as I can. And then that way it's always going to be a straight on shot and not all crooked and tilted and all of that stuff. So the other matter as well is to make sure I have a really good flush mounting spot, because the front of this helmet's got some ridges to it, so I might have to try the little curved mount piece on here. I could try that, see if that would work better to make it a more solid surface mount. So anyway, so it is pretty cool. I mean it does have some glue with it, and you do have the added protection here for your chin that can easily be pulled off, and the chin curtain also does remove. And I have to read up on the little instruction book on how all of that works, but this also has a little, you probably can't see, a little thing you can do that for comfort adjustment, and you have a little button right next to it to let it out. You can't see right there, so that'd be kind of cool. Alright, but let's see, I guess what I could do is I can just kind of try this on real quick just to make sure it's going to fit before I start customizing it with the camera mount. I think I have much trouble getting my glasses back on, but so it feels it does seem to fit okay. It seems to fit pretty snug, so I don't want it way loose either. So it's pretty good and snug, and I can kind of, the chin curtain is right where it's supposed to be, and I can fit the little microphone right in the front here somewhere and have the best quality audio and not have a lot of popping and crackling happening during my audio and I'm going on down the interstate or high speed somewhere. But I'd much rather have a nice snug fit than a way loose one. I got the medium size because that's the same size as my current helmet that I have now. I'm sure many of you know every manufacturer has slightly different sizes, where, you know, medium and comfortable on one helmet might be a bit too small and too tight on another manufacturer of the same size helmet, a medium. So, but anyways, I'm gonna work on getting this mounted here. I got a couple different ideas, want to see how it's gonna work for different mounts with this tape that I bought. And once I kind of get it all together, I'll come back here in a second and I'll show you all what I got done, as well as some other mounts. Okay, so here is what I ended up working out. It took me quite a while. I didn't want to bore you for hours with me trying to figure out how I'm going to put all of this together and run the wiring and cables and everything else, so I just left the camera off, but I'll walk you through all I did. First of all, I did have to go with the curved mounting piece. You kind of see a little bit like there. I had to go with a curved piece here, and so I got two pieces of tape. You can sort of see that. Two pieces of tape stuck together, and that's with that 30-pound 3M mounting tape I showed you earlier. So that will hold it. I mean, that will show it who's boss. And see if the wind's going to blow that off anytime soon. So I got two pieces on there, and then you can kind of see from there, you know, just the regular, you know, clamp that secures that with a bolt. It's a little, you know, straight. It's a little straight piece. Kind of see that. From there it goes to another straight piece here, and this is where I have my external microphone zip tied to. You can do that. You can maybe mount it on the other side or straight on the helmet if you want to. It's whichever you want to do. From there, it's another piece that goes straight up that holds this little mounting cage. And then what I did was I did not trust that tiny little thread string they give you for the insurance mount. So I took 2 pieces of zip tie. I got them snug or just a little loose. So if I need to make some adjustments, I'll have room to do so. And I got this secured down, and you can see here I got 2 pieces of that 3M 30-pound mounting tape. So that will show it something and won't soon forget. It'll really make that stay on there for life. See if the wind will want to blow that off any. And anyway, so I got 2 of these on there, not tight or too snug, it's just loose, so I may have to make some adjustments. I really worked for quite a while to try and get this whole thing, you know, positioned such a way so it's straight out and straight on and not crooked one way or the other. And then from there, what I did was I have my little external battery pack cable coming out of this, and I just kind of run that down inside the helmet. And what I'll do is I'll take my little separate battery pack, I can plug this cable into that and put the little battery pack in my pocket. And then this is the microphone cable. I think it was like a 3-foot piece of audio cable, just like that, plugs in. And I took from there, kind of wrapped around here a few times, kind of take up some slack, and I tucked in the rest of it all the way on down inside the helmet. From there, I have the microphone plugged into it, and then if I can show you down inside, you may not be able to see. Maybe this way you can see better. There's enough light. From there, you may not be able to see anything. Kind of. You can kind of see where I took that little microphone and I have it zip tied here. So a little microphone piece kind of comes in. I got it zip tied around the little vent holes in the front of the helmet, which I'll keep closed. And then from there, I managed to get this little dead cat cover. And a little dead cat cover you can buy at Amazon. There's like a 2-pack for like several dollars or something like that. But the thing is that this little dead cat cover, get a little better light. The little opening is elastic. It's really teeny tiny teensy, and I almost broke the little elastic band. Just getting that thing to open just barely enough to go over the microphone part, and so it's on there. And anyway, so I got that kind of tucked down in. It's a matter of trying to find a better positioning so that the fur doesn't get into my mouth and face and all of that kind of stuff. So it's just a matter of just kind of keeping it tucked down inside there a little bit. So I spent quite a while on getting that kind of figured out. So, and I had to take this out, and this does come out, and I took this big piece off, so I can get up in there a little easier with all of the cable and wiring and have a little more room to work easier. And these side pieces, they do snap off, they do unsnap, they come out, and this is held by just a couple of Velcro pieces. So I'm hoping that with a combination of this the chin guard, and with this on both sides, and as well as the front piece here, I'm hoping that is all going to make a big difference in the quality of the audio, especially when I'm running up and down the road, freeway speed or whichever. And so I'll have to see how that's all going to work out, with trying to make sure that I have the camera pointed out, pretty much straight and level. I mean, I can probably move it back in just a tad, and but I do have all of those joints good and snug tight. So, but it is still going to move just a little bit. But when I do have the camera in there, then this plugs in to the little thing inside the camera, and then we're all good to go. So we're going to see how well this does, and with riding and taking some vlogging and that sort of thing. So this will give you some ideas as to what you can have for your own helmet setup. Something similar like this. And what I like about this is that this is mounted right on the front, so it's going to be straight out looking out, not crooked one way or tilted this way or crooked or whatever. It's going to be pretty much straight on looking. It's not going to be all sideways and crooked looking. So okay, so I got that, and so now what I want to do is I want to take you out to the Harley in the garage, and I want to show you a mount I have for that on the handlebars for an extra camera. Okay, out here in the garage with my Harley, and on the handlebar I was contemplating for quite a while about putting a second camera facing me on the handlebar, and originally I bought this mount to fit on here, and this mount is designed for the Sony Handycam that I'm recording on now. And but as I thought about it for a while, I thought, well, the Sony Handycam is pretty expensive, and it's my main camera I use for making lots of videos on my YouTube channel, so I don't want to lose it. So it was a $350 camera, and I sure hate to have it come loose and lose it on the road and destroy it and everything else, and without a camera. So I'm going to hang on to this, so I didn't want to jeopardize my own one and only nice camera. So what I did was I went on eBay and I bought a second GoPro 7 Hero Black, and you can see here that now what I had to do was, there's a big piece of rubber, it's a big rubber grommet there. It's this I think it was a smaller one. And even with this smaller rubber grommet, I could not get these two pieces to clamp together. I had to really use some force and muscle to finally just barely get this piece on the inside of here. And once I finally got that to barely latch in, then I got it all snugged down pretty well, so it's not going to go anywhere. So from there, so I hope you got a good look at that, by the way. And GoPro does sell these for not a whole lot of money. So from there, I got the little thing, clipped in there, and I got the little cage, and I'll have to do some adjusting to see where I need to tilt this camera. And so what I'll do is I'll have an internal battery in here, and then what I do, I'll have to work on it a little later, is I have this little 6 foot, or I think it's a 6 foot piece of cable right here, and what I'll do is I'll keep most of it all inside my little front bag here, and then what I'll do is I'll kind of, when I get around to doing it a little later, I'll wrap around this cable around the handlebars and whichever zip ties, I guess, and plug right in here, and that will give me plenty of battery power when I run it off of this. So this extra other piece of cable here you're going to see is going to get on down around that front bag. Will kind of stay inside there, and it'll plug into my external battery pack. So I'll have, just like with my helmet camera, it's got the same thing. It's got the same battery pack in it, and it's in my pocket. Well, this will be in that front bag here. I'll kind of have it down in here with this cable, latched all together with a little strap and buckle. So it'll be closed all up and secure. You just kind of sit down in there and stay secure and not going to go anywhere, and dry and whichever. So with this on and running with the internal battery and the GoPro, I could record hours easily. because when you're running the external battery pack with an internal battery, the battery is not discharging quite so hard, and so the camera will not have to get quite so hot. It won't work quite so hard from the battery and drain the battery down fast and overheat and turn off, and you get all kinds of other issues. I don't know what it's gonna be like in a hot sun and a hot sunny day. I don't know if maybe some sort of protective cover around here would make any difference or not to kind of keep it cool a little bit. So I don't know about that yet, but I do know that at the moment, when you're running, you got a fully charged internal battery here, and you get fully charged external battery pack here, which you can buy these. I think you can buy this off of Amazon. This is the Pilot brand. So it's got the little thing here you plug stuff in. So when you have this fully charged, turned on, and supplying power to the GoPro, it's going to record for as long as you got memory storage, to record with. And it's going to keep it cool. It's not going to make it overheat or get hot. It's not going to have it shut down or anything like that. So because it's always getting plenty enough power and not having to drain from that internal battery all by itself really hard and making the whole thing get really hot. So that's what I'm looking at doing here in my next future videos. I'll do some tweaking to see where I need to position that so it can see me. And what I'll do is I'll start to wear some merch t-shirts from different motovloggers out there. And you'll see that right there on the camera. You'll see your shirt on my videos as I promote your merch and promote your channel, and I'll have the links all in the description of my video for your channel and your merch. So that's all from that camera. And my memory, in case you're asking, my memory was I have a 256 gigabit SD card for memory in that GoPro, and have the same 256 gigabit SD card in my helmet camera. So they both have the exact same SD cards, and so right now, at least on my helmet camera, I've had no issues using that 256 gigabit little SD card, and that gives you, hours and hours, probably 5 or 6 hours worth of recording time in 2K. And if you're recording in 1080i or 1080p, you're looking at something like in the range of probably 10 hours of recording time. It all kind of depends on what settings you have set all up in the camera. So, and like I mentioned, I'll kind of have this secured all up so there'll be plenty of slack, won't get in the way of anything. And I don't know, I still have my cell phone mount. I don't know if I'll put it here. I'm kind of nervous about putting my cell phone on there, even though I'm sure it's going to hold it on there plenty, secure and tight. But I don't know, I kind of feel a little bit more comfortable having the cell phone in my pocket. But I got the mount anyway. I can try it and see. It gets to be a point where you got just too much clutter, and I already got plenty. So I don't know, cell phone camera, cell phone mount, maybe. I don't know yet. So in case you're also wondering too, this is a little cable here for my battery tender, and I got it plugged in. I have it plugged in all the time into my battery tender, and it doesn't matter, summer, winter, whatever, it's always got the battery tender on it. And so my thinking is that you could use this connector to power your cell phone if you want. If you have the correct little connector, and I don't know what else it might require, but you could probably charge your phone or even the camera off of that little connector for the battery for the bike. That's another idea for you. So that's kind of what I was wanting to show you today. Just kind of show you my future camera setup. So I'm going to keep my this is already fully charged like you've seen, so I'll keep that in there. So that'll give you some ideas for a nice setup for your helmet as well as your bike. A little bit more in depth video And you know, you got some motor vloggers, they try to show you everything, but they don't really quite exactly take the time like I'm taking to show you all the intricate particulars of different stuff. So I'm hoping that this will show you everything, get you some ideas that it can be done. Just have to I don't know, get to be a little ingenious, I suppose. But I really do appreciate you being here with me, watching my videos. Thank you very much for being on my channel. It really means an awful lot to me. This is my 2011 Harley Sportster Nightster. I'm not sure what other words you could put with all of that, and I'm sure there may be several. But this is the 1200, and as you can see, the Vance & Hines pipes, they are quite loud. And I don't know what particular pipes these are called, but either way, they do have the baffles in them, and even with the baffles in those pipes, it is still plenty loud for me. It's as loud as I ever need it to be. It don't need to be much louder than that. It's plenty loud as it is, as you may have heard from my previous other videos. But if any of you know what particular type of pipe that is, I appreciate your input on that. But those are my dream exhaust pipes. I've always wanted Vance & Hines pipes on my other Harley Sportster. It was the 06 Sportster I had years ago, brand new. And I've always wanted Hines and Vance & Hines pipes on that bike, but I never could afford them. And I wasn't really sure if I'd have much luck trying to put them all on. So didn't really go with that. But I did have I had the Screaming Eagle exhaust pipes on my 06 Sportster, and I swapped out the baffles out for aftermarket baffles, which made it about as loud as this one. So it kind of brought back some memories after buying this bike at the dealership and firing it up and listening to it run, and I thought, wow, this sounds just almost very much like my last Sportster. Sounded like really plenty loud. And and of course it always helps having the extra loud horn on there, and the really loud city horn. I got rid of the little beep beep horn. It's kind of embarrassing having a little beep beep horn on a Harley bike. You need something more substantial than that. So, but anyway, so you know, I'm not sure what other upgrades right now at the moment I'll be doing with the bike. I would like to get a new seat for sure. You know, I have to get a Saddleman seat if I can ever afford one. That would be nice. And I'd like to do that for sure. And I'd like to get a windshield. You know, windshield to help out quite a bit with cutting down on the wind noise and road noise up against the helmet and that kind of thing. But I'm not going to be able to afford a windshield either anytime soon. So anyway, so I guess that's kind of all for now, other than you know, still would be nice to get a little bit bigger gas tank. This little 3.4 or 3.3 gallon tank, it's not going to get me quite all that far as I might like sometimes. So 4.5 gallon gas tank would be nice if I can get one, if I can afford it. So I suppose I'll let you go for now. This video is getting plenty long enough, and it's just been too cold, too rainy outside to do any riding, but it's supposed to get warmer and nicer over the next 2 days before it gets rainy again. So I'll have to see if I can maybe get on out the next day or two and try and record some more content for some more videos for you. But I'm Chris. This is Riders for Christ YouTube channel. Please like this video, please subscribe and share it with everyone that you know. And always remember that Jesus Christ died on the cross for you can have eternal life if you believe in Him. So see you on the next video. Bye.